This story is very meaningful. Everyone should hear it. Listen to Brian tell the story. I'm Rachel, a 29-year-old vice president at a tech corporation, married to Andy, a guy who's as steady as they come, with dark hair and a quiet charm that won me over at a college party years ago. I used to be the awkward kid in high school, braces, skinny frame, the works, until I grew into myself in college. Now I've got a decent figure, a sharp mind, and a life I'm proud of. But my past still haunts me in the form of Stevie, my sister-in-law and high school bully, who's about to turn my world upside down. It's March 10th, 2025, and I'm standing in the middle of a crowded airport terminal, my suitcase at my feet, staring at Stevie as she sips her latte like she didn't just drop a bomb on me. "Oh, by the way, Rachel," she says, her voice casual, almost sing-song, "I hope your cards work overseas because you're covering everything, hotels, flights, food, for all of us." Her blonde hair bounces as she tilts her head, and her green eyes glint with something I can't quite place. Amusement? Malice? I feel my stomach twist, a cold sweat breaking out on my neck. Around us, her friends, Taylor, a loud redhead in a leather jacket, and Marcus, a beefy guy with a sheepish grin, chat obliviously, but I'm frozen. "What do you mean, all of us?" I manage to choke out, my voice tight. She smirks, leaning closer. "You're loaded, right? Vice president and all. I figured you'd sponsor my Bachelorette trip. It's the least you can do." My heart pounds, anger and disbelief crashing together. I never agreed to this. Not a word about it until now, an hour before our flight to the Greek islands. I grab my suitcase handle so hard my knuckles turn white, spin on my heel, and walk away, her voice chasing me. "Rachel, where are you going? Don't ruin this for me." I don't look back. I can't. My chest feels like it's caving in as I push through the crowd, the hum of the airport blurring into a dull roar. I'm not just mad. She humiliated me, played me like a fool after I'd let my guard down. I thought we were past the bullying, past the sneers and the locker pranks from high school. I thought her lunch apology a few weeks ago was real, those tears she shed over her latte meaning something. But this? This is Stevie all over again, the same girl who made my teenage years hell, now expecting me to bankroll her and her posse like some rich pushover. I flag a cab outside, slide into the back seat, and slam the door, my hands shaking as I pull out my phone to call Andy. "She tried to scam me," I blurt out when he picks up, my voice cracking. "She wanted me to pay for the whole damn trip, herself, her friends, everything." There's a pause, then his low, furious growl. "She did what?" I can picture him, jaw clenched, pacing our living room. "I'm calling Mom and Dad," he says. "This is bullshit." Let me back up. Stevie and I go way back, and not in a good way. High school was a nightmare because of her. I was the nerdy kid, braces glinting under fluorescent lights, too small clothes hanging off my frame, always carrying a stack of books. Stevie was the opposite, tall, blonde, captain of the cheer squad, with a laugh that could cut glass. She'd trip me in the halls, dump soda on my backpack, call me braceface loud enough for everyone to hear. I'd go home crying, lock myself in my room, and swear I'd never let her win. College changed me. I got my braces off, filled out, learned to hold my head high. By the time I met Andy at that party, me tipsy on cheap beer, him spinning tracks in a corner, I was a new person. He drove me home that night, scribbled his number on my hand with a shy smile and said, "Call me if you want. I think you're cool." I did, and we clicked. 3 months in, he dropped the bombshell. My sister's name is Stevie. She, had some issues in high school. When he named her school, my stomach sank. "Wait, Stevie Carter? Blonde, mean as hell?" He nodded, grimacing. "Yeah, that's her." I didn't let it stop us. Andy was worth it. Solid, kind, nothing like her. We got married 2 years ago, and Stevie stayed on the edges of my life. Cold, but civil. I'd see her at family dinners, her sitting across the table, barely acknowledging me while Andy's parents, John and Linda Carter, smiled and passed me mashed potatoes. She never apologized for high school, and I never asked. Andy knew how she'd wrecked me back then, how I'd spent nights hating myself because of her, and he didn't push me to play nice. "She's my sister," he'd say, "but you don't have to forgive her. She's never even said sorry." We kept the peace, or so I thought, until she called me out of the blue a month ago. "Hey, Rachel," she'd said over the phone, her voice syrupy. "Want to grab lunch? I've got something to ask you." I hesitated, suspicion prickling my spine, but Andy nudged me. "Give her a chance. She's getting married soon. Maybe she's growing up." So I went. She sat across from me at a trendy cafe, all smiles, wearing a white sundress that screamed, "I'm innocent now." Then she dropped the act. "I'm sorry," she said, eyes welling up. "I was awful to you in high school. I was a brat, and I regret it." I stared, stunned, as tears streaked her mascara. "I didn't know how to face you after you started dating Andy," she went on. "I was ashamed." I'm a sucker for emotions, always have been, so I softened. "It's fine," I said, my throat tight. "Water under the bridge." She beamed, then slid in her real pitch. "I'm going to the Greek islands for my Bachelorette trip. Come with me. Let's start over." I balked, but she pressed, and I caved. A fresh start sounded nice. I was tired of the tension, the unspoken history hanging between us. Fast forward to the airport disaster. I'm home now, curled on the couch, still reeling as Andy storms around, phone pressed to his ear. "Mom, Dad, you won't believe what she pulled," he's saying, his voice sharp. I feel a pang of guilt. He'd been so happy we were bonding, but it's drowned by the fury bubbling in my chest. Stevie played me, and I fell for it like an idiot. Andy hangs up, sits beside me, and pulls me close. "They're pissed," he says. "Dad's calling her now. This isn't on you, Rach." I nod, but my mind's racing. What happens next? 2 days later, the fallout hits. Andy comes home from work, his face a mix of shock and grim satisfaction. "The wedding's off," he says, dropping his keys on the counter with a clatter that echoes through our quiet kitchen. "Jake left her." I blink, my heart lurching in my chest like it's trying to break free. "What? How?" I ask, my voice barely above a whisper, my hands gripping the edge of the couch. He sighs, running a hand through his dark hair, his brow furrowed with exhaustion. "After Dad told her to apologize, she flipped out. Called you a stingy bitch, said she didn't do anything wrong. Mom and Dad pulled the funding, they were covering most of it. She told Jake he had to pay, and he said no way. They fought, and he walked." I sit there, stunned, a weird mix of relief and guilt swirling in me like oil and water, refusing to blend. Relief because I'm free of her scheme, guilt because I wonder if I'd overreacted at the airport. "She's blaming us," Andy adds, his tone flat but his eyes flashing with anger. "Says you ruined her life." I laugh, bitter and short, the sound scraping my throat. "Me? I didn't ask for any of this." I lean back, staring at the ceiling, my mind replaying that airport moment, Stevie's smug face, her latte steam curling up like a taunt, the way her friends laughed like I was the punchline. My stomach churns again, but this time it's less about shame and more about indignation. "She's delusional," I mutter, mostly to myself. Andy nods, sitting beside me, his arm brushing mine in a quiet show of support. "Yeah, well, she's Stevie, always has been." I glance at him, his profile sharp in the dim light, and feel a rush of gratitude. He gets it. He's always gotten it. The next morning, I'm sipping coffee at the kitchen island when my phone buzzes. It's Liz, Andy's cousin, a petite brunette with a wicked sense of humor and an insatiable love for family drama. "Girl, you've stirred the pot," her text reads, followed by a string of laughing emojis. "Stevie's telling everyone you threw a fit at the airport and left her stranded. Says you're a selfish diva." I groan, setting my mug down hard enough to slosh coffee over the rim. My fingers fly over the screen. "She tried to make me pay for her whole damn trip, herself and 10 strangers. I walked away because she's insane." Liz replies instantly. "Oh, I know, she's full of it, but heads up, she's roping in reinforcements." I frown, unease creeping up my spine. "What do you mean?" I type. "Taylor and Marcus," she shoots back. "They're backing her story. Watch your back." Taylor and Marcus. I should have known. Taylor's the redhead from the airport, all attitude and designer boots, the kind of girl who'd start a fight just to film it for her followers. Marcus is the wild card, big, quiet, with a shaved head and tattoos peeking out from his sleeves. He's Stevie's ex, but the way he hovered near her at the airport, I could tell he's still hooked. I rub my temples, the headache I've been fighting all morning blooming into a full ache. Stevie's building an army, and I'm the target. Great. That afternoon, I'm at the grocery store, distractedly tossing apples into my cart, when my phone pings again. It's Marcus this time, his name lighting up the screen like a warning flare. "Rachel, I need to talk," his message says. "Stevie's freaking out. She wants me to say you promised to pay and bailed. I don't want in on this, but she's threatening me." My heart races, a flush of anger heating my face. I step into the cereal aisle, out of earshot of the chatty cashier, and call him. He picks up on the second ring, his deep voice hesitant. "Hey, Rachel. I'm sorry." I cut him off, my tone sharp. "What's she holding over you, Marcus?" He sighs, long and heavy. "She says she'll tell everyone I cheated on her when we dated, that I got some girl pregnant and bailed. It's a lie, but you know how she is. People believe her." I grip the phone tighter, my nails digging into my palm. "She's blackmailing you? Over this?" "Yeah," he mutters. "I told her no, but she's pissed. I just wanted you to know." I take a deep breath, forcing calm. "Thanks for the heads up. Don't let her drag you down. She's sinking herself." He chuckles, a little relieved. "Yeah, I'm out. Good luck, Rachel." I hang up, my mind spinning. Stevie's not just blaming me, she's weaponizing her friends. I text Andy. "She's trying to turn Marcus against me. He's not biting, but this is nuts." He replies, "I'm calling her. This stops now." I picture him dialing, his jaw tight, and feel a flicker of hope. But it's short-lived. An hour later, he texts back. "She hung up on me, said we're dead to her. Mom's crying." My stomach drops. Linda's a sweetheart. Soft-spoken, gray hair always in a neat bun, the kind of mom who bakes cookies for no reason. I hate that she's caught in this. That night, I'm scrolling through Instagram when Stevie's latest post pops up. She must have made a new account after I blocked her. It's a selfie, her eyes red-rimmed, captioned, "When your own family betrays you for money, I'm done." Comments flood in. "OMG, Stevie, what happened?" "You deserve better," I scoff, tempted to reply, but I don't. Let her play victim. I'm done engaging. Then my phone rings. It's Jake, her ex-fiancé, a lanky guy with glasses and a gentle vibe I met once at a family barbecue. "Rachel?" he says when I answer, his voice shaky. "I just wanted to say thanks." I blink, confused. "For what?" "For walking away at the airport," he says. "It made me see her. She tried to dump the wedding costs on me, and when I said no, she lost it. Called me worthless, said I'd never find anyone else. I'm done." I swallow, a lump in my throat. "I'm sorry, Jake. You didn't deserve that." He laughs softly. "Neither did you. Take care, okay?" I hang up, a strange warmth spreading through me. At least someone else gets it. But Stevie's not done. The next day, Liz calls, her voice buzzing with excitement. "You won't believe this. She's crashing with Taylor now. Jake let her keep the apartment, but she can't pay rent, so she bailed. And get this, Taylor's already complaining about her on Snapchat." I smirk, picturing Taylor's pouty face whining about Stevie eating her snacks. "She'll be back at John and Linda's soon," I say. "No one puts up with her for free." Liz cackles. "Yep. Oh, and she's telling people you got her fired from her old job too. Wild, right?" I freeze. "What job? She quit to start that failing boutique." Liz snorts. "Exactly. She's unhinged." A week passes, and Stevie's spiral deepens. She moves back to her parents' house, tail between her legs, but she doesn't stop. Linda calls me, her voice trembling. "She's saying awful things about you, Rachel. We told her to quit, but she won't listen." I hear Stevie in the background yelling, "They're liars, Mom! Rachel's a snake!" My patience snaps. I turn to Andy, who's chopping vegetables for dinner, his knife hitting the board harder than necessary. "We're going over there," I say, my voice steady but my insides churning. He sets the knife down, eyes blazing. "Damn right we are." We pull up to John and Linda's craftsman-style house, the porch light casting shadows on the lawn. Stevie's inside, sprawled on the couch in sweatpants, scrolling her phone. She looks up as we walk in, her face twisting into a sneer. "Oh, great, the traitors are here," she spits. Linda wrings her hands, John's arms crossed tight. I step forward, my heart hammering but my voice firm. "You're done, Stevie. Stop lying about me or I'll tell everyone, your friends, your followers, Jake, everything. The airport, Marcus, all of it." Her eyes widen, then narrow. "You're threatening me?" she shrieks, jumping up. "This is an ambush." She turns to her parents. "You're picking her over me?" John's voice booms. "Apologize or get out." She grabs her bag, storms past us, and slams the door. "I'm staying with Taylor," she yells from the driveway. I exhale, my knees weak but my spirit lighter. 2 weeks later, she's back at her parents', broken quiet. For now. Taylor kicked her out after she forgot to chip in for groceries, a detail Liz gleefully relayed to me over a late-night text. Girl couldn't even buy a loaf of bread. Taylor was done. Marcus texts me too, his message short and sweet. "She's done with me too. Good riddance." I smile at that, picturing him flexing in some gym mirror, finally free of her leash. Jake's moved on, dating someone new, a sweet kindergarten teacher he met at a coffee shop according to Andy's mom, Linda, who sounded almost proud when she told me. And me? I'm sipping wine with Andy on our couch, a rich Cabernet that warms my throat as the drama fades like a bad dream. Stevie lost, and I didn't even have to fight. She did it to herself. I set my glass down, the clink against the coffee table grounding me. Andy's sprawled beside me, one arm draped over the cushions, his dark eyes soft in the lamplight. "You okay?" he asks, his voice low, like he's testing the waters. I nod, leaning into him, feeling the steady rise and fall of his chest. "Yeah, it's just weird. I thought I'd feel worse for her, you know?" He snorts, a rare edge to his laugh. "After what she pulled? Nah, she had it coming." I smile, but there's a tiny knot in my gut, a leftover thread of guilt I can't quite shake. She's his sister, sure, but she's also the ghost of every insecurity I buried after high school. The braces, the taunts, the nights I cried myself to sleep. I thought I'd moved past it, but her airport stunt ripped that wound open, and now it's scabbing over, itchy and raw. The next morning I'm at my desk, buried in emails about quarterly reports when my phone buzzes. It's Linda, her voice shaky but warm. "Rachel, honey, I hate to bother you, but Stevie's at it again." I tense, my pen hovering over a notepad. "What now?" I ask, dread pooling in my stomach. "She's emailing Andy," Linda says. "Awful stuff, calling you names, saying you turned us against her. We told her to stop, but she's stubborn. I hear John in the background, his gruff voice muttering, "Damn fool girl." I sigh, pinching the bridge of my nose. "Thanks for telling me, Linda. I'll handle it." I hang up, my pulse quickening. I thought she'd quit, but Stevie's like a cockroach, keeps crawling back no matter how many times you stomp. I text Andy. "Your sister's emailing you crap about me again. We need to end this." He replies instantly. "I saw. She's unhinged. I'm going over there tonight." I hesitate, my fingers hovering over the screen. I don't want him facing her alone. She's got a way of twisting him up, even if he hates admitting it. "I'm coming too," I type back. No arguments. He sends a thumbs up, and I feel a surge of resolve, sharp and electric. This ends today. We pull up to John and Linda's house as the sun dips low, painting the sky a bruised purple. Stevie's car, a beat-up sedan she can barely afford, sits crooked in the driveway, a testament to her chaos. Inside, she's pacing the living room, her blonde hair a tangled mess, her face flushed with fury. John's in his recliner, arms crossed, while Linda hovers near the kitchen, wringing a dish towel. Stevie spots us and stops dead, her green eyes narrowing. "Oh, perfect," she snaps, her voice dripping venom. "The golden couple here to gloat." I feel Andy stiffen beside me, but I step forward, my heart pounding but my stance firm. "We're not here to gloat," I say, keeping my tone even. "We're here to tell you to stop. No more emails, no more lies. It's over." She laughs, a harsh, jagged sound that grates on my nerves. "Over? You ruined my life, Rachel. My trip, my wedding, my friends, gone because of you." I clench my fists, anger flaring hot in my chest. "I didn't ruin anything," I shoot back. "You tried to scam me, Stevie. You assumed I'd pay for your little fantasy because I've got a good job. That's on you." Her face twists, and she jabs a finger at me. "You're a selfish bitch. I apologize for high school, and this is how you repay me?" I step closer, my voice rising despite myself. "Your apology was a trap. You don't get to play victim after pulling that shit at the airport." Andy cuts in, his voice low and dangerous. "Enough, Stevie. You're not just hurting Rachel, you're tearing this family apart. Mom's crying, Dad's pissed, and I'm done watching it." She whirls on him, her eyes wild. "You're picking her over me? Your own sister?" John stands, his broad frame looming. "We're not picking anyone," he growls. "You dug this hole. Apologize, or figure out how to climb out yourself." Linda's voice trembles from the doorway. "Please, Stevie, just stop." But Stevie's beyond reason. She grabs her phone, her bag, her keys, and storms toward the door, shoving past me so hard I stumble. "I'll live with Taylor again," she yells. "I don't need any of you." The door slams, rattling the windows, and she's gone. Again. I sink onto the couch, my legs shaky, adrenaline still buzzing in my veins. Linda sits beside me, her hand on my arm, her eyes wet. "I'm so sorry, Rachel," she whispers. I squeeze her hand, forcing a smile. It's not your fault. She's her own worst enemy. John grunts, settling back into his chair. Damn right. She'll be back when Taylor's had enough. Again. Andy kneels in front of me, his hands on my knees, his gaze steady. You good? He asks. I nod, the knot in my gut loosening. Yeah, I think I am. A week later, Taylor's patience runs dry. Again. Liz texts me a screenshot of Taylor's Snapchat story. Some people think they can mooch forever. Bye, Felicia. With a photo of Stevie's stuff piled by the curb. Stevie slinks back to her parents' house, her tail between her legs, but this time, she's quieter. No more emails flood Andy's inbox. No more cryptic posts paint me as the villain. Marcus calls me one evening, his voice lighter than I've ever heard it. She tried to guilt me into helping her move, he says, laughing. I told her to kick rocks. I'm free, Rachel. Thanks for not letting her drag me down. I grin, leaning against the kitchen counter. Anytime, Marcus, you're better off. Jake sends me a message too, a photo of him and his new girlfriend, a curly-haired girl with a shy smile, at a park, captioned, Found peace. Hope you have too. I reply, I have. Congrats, Jake. I mean it. He's a good guy, and seeing him happy soothes the last frayed edge of my conscience. Stevie's alone now, holed up in her childhood bedroom, her dreams of a Greek getaway and a lavish wedding reduced to dust. I don't gloat, but I don't feel sorry either. She built this cage, let her sit in it. Months pass, and life settles. It's June now, the air thick with summer heat, and I'm on our patio, a lemonade sweating in my hand. Andy's grilling burgers, the smoky scent mingling with the hum of cicadas. My phone pings, a notification from Stevie's latest Instagram, unblocked out of curiosity. It's a selfie, her face thinner, her eyes hollow, captioned, Starting over, alone. No likes, no comments. I stare at it, waiting for guilt to hit, but it doesn't. Instead, I feel a quiet triumph, a weight lifted. She's not my burden anymore. I set the phone down, join Andy at the grill, and steal a kiss, his lips tasting faintly of charcoal and salt. She'll figure it out, he says, flipping a patty, his tone neutral. Or she won't. I shrug, sipping my drink. Either way, it's not our problem. He grins, and I laugh, the sound free and easy. Stevie's out there, scrambling, maybe plotting her next move, but I'm here, safe, loved, and untouchable. Life's taught me something through all this. You can't fix people who won't fix themselves, and you don't have to carry their wreckage. I've let go, and it feels damn good. So, what do you think? Did I miss the mark, or did Stevie's downfall hit just right? Drop your thoughts. I'm curious if you'd have handled her differently. Maybe you've got your own Stevie story to share. Let's hear it.